Imagine landing your dream job and then handing in your resignation letter with no backup plan in sight. I spoke to one woman who did that in the pandemic, and I asked her why she joined the Great Resignation. So tell me about your journey to becoming a city planner.
It started when I entered university and I had no idea what I wanted to do. I tried multiple different programs until I found City Studies, and once I found it, it felt like a language that I completely understood. I went to grad school and then from there worked my way to where I was working as a planner.
To do all that education and all that planning, you get to a place where you have a position and then you decide to leave that position.
Yeah.
What led you to quit your job as a city planner?
I was always debating on whether this was the field for me. I know it's not a question you ask yourself after you've worked so hard to get to that place. But when I got there, I found while I enjoyed it, there was something that was missing.
What was missing for you?
I'm not sure what was missing. I'm just sure that it wasn't.
It wasn't for you?
Yeah, it wasn't for me. I enjoyed learning about it. There's so many amazing things about city planning, the environment, community development. I could go on about that. But when it comes to the actual job, I think that's a different thing than studying. And I didn't feel the value that I thought I would in the career path that I had chosen when I was 18, 19.
We're going through a pandemic,
Yes.
and there's so much uncertainty, and people are being laid off from their jobs, and others are just like, oh my gosh, what's going to happen next? And then you decide to quit.
Yeah.
What led to that?
A lot of thinking, a whole lot of thinking. Before the pandemic, I was looking into different subcategories of planning. I thought maybe I would go into environmental planning, but I did interviews and nothing seemed to be a good fit. The pandemic allowed me to pause a little bit to really think about what I was doing. I quit my job because I increasingly didn't enjoy what I was doing. I got an opportunity to work on more senior level projects, but they weren't fulfilling. The job is stressful, and I'm not gonna say it wasn't, but it became more difficult to stay in my job than to quit it. And quitting wasn't an easy decision. I made it because I didn't know what was next, but I know this wasn't it. And I knew I couldn't stay any longer, otherwise it would impact my mental health.
What was the reaction from your friends and family?
Mixed. Definitely a mixed reaction. I didn't tell anybody until I had made the decision and put in my resignation letter because I knew the reaction would be mixed. Quitting a job that you worked so hard for, something that was stable, something that is seen as a great place to be, is not seen, I think, favorably by everybody.
Do you think that some people judged you for making that decision?
There were a lot of people who got laid off during the pandemic, and there was a lot of uncertainty in the pandemic. And I think to a certain extent, it may have appeared that I had a great job, but I was leaving it because I didn't want it. But it's a bigger picture than that.
What's the bigger picture?
The bigger picture is that it was a very stressful and an anxiety-inducing place to be. And it wasn't just the job, there was the pandemic. There were so many things happening in the world, in private life, that put me in a position where I just had to leave. So to answer the question, there is judgment, but there's also a lot of support. There were some people who told me this is probably the best thing I could do. It's very brave and bold to go after your passion or to try something new.
Were you scared?
Very scared.
Yeah.
I was very scared. It's not something that somebody prepares you for. Navigating a career, who knows how to do that? You know how to get there, but everything you do after that is all on you, really. You have to discover what it is that you want to do. You have to figure out how to move forward from there. So judgment came, but there were also a lot of supporters, and I'm very grateful for that.
The AI that we use to get insights for the show, Polly, showed that there was a lot of burnout, and this conversation around finding the balance between, work life and going to work, which kind of became, it's like the biggest thing in anyone's life is work. Do you think the pandemic kind of raised the alarm even louder for us to start to acknowledge, talk about that conversation?
Yes, definitely.
Yeah.
it raised the alarm because people were speaking up now. Individually, I believe a lot of people deal with burnout. But having that conversation openly, I think it's a very difficult thing to do, because in some cases it's the corporate environment that this is just the way things are. So you begin to question, well, is it my limited capacity? Is it my fault that I can't do this? Or is it just the environment I'm in? Is it the work I'm doing? So you begin to question, like, what aspects of your life are leading to this burnout? So I think the pandemic really made everybody focus on, well, how are you living your life? And is this healthy to continue to live this way?
Do you think that maybe the pandemic kind of shifted the balance?
It did shift the balance. I think I hear a lot that it's a employees market now, especially in the job search. In terms of shifting the balance, perhaps there's a question earlier about, oh, can I do all these things in my life and be successful in my career? And working from home, there's a lot of conversation around, well, I can now put something on the stove and still complete my task at hand.
Do you ever have situations where you wake up and say, wow, did I quit my job? Did I do that?
I had it a couple months ago. I would think, wow, never did I ever imagine I would quit a job. Nobody tells you it's okay to quit. It's not something that crosses your mind. It's not a topic of conversation that happens on a regular basis. You work at the place you work, and either you find another job or, you excel at what you're currently doing. Quitting, it just seems like and maybe I'm just reaching out here, but a revolutionary act. It's like saying, I choose me. I trust myself, and I know it'll work out against all odds of people saying, don't do that. You don't know what the outcomes will be. You don't know the uncertainty that's out there. So the nightmares don't exist anymore, but the questions still do.
So what's next then?
I have no idea. I have absolutely no idea, but I'm at a place where I trust myself. I know it'll work out, and you know what? I'm a great worker. I am. I really value the work I do. I really work hard at what I do. So whatever it is, I'm sure it'll be fine.
What have you learned about yourself through this experience?
That I can do it. I don't think I was as confident as I was before then, or before quitting. I also thought people had it figured out, but the reality is nobody has it figured out. And you're far more capable than you think you are.
That chat was part of The Thread, hosted by me. And if you want to see more videos, you can look here and here. Subscribe to our channel or follow us on Instagram at TVO The Thread. See you next time.